Republican senator. What do you make of this meeting and what's at stake? Obviously, Janet Yellen has referred to the fact that China might kind of need us more than we need them. Their economy's hiccuping. What do you think?
Well, I think they've got serious problems. They've got a long-term problem because they're seeing a reduction in foreign direct investment in China. And that's an indication that the world has woken up and decided that we've got to reduce our dependence on China for so many of our supply chains. They got a demographic problem. They've got a problem that we don't have. We've got lots of allies. They don't have a lot of allies. I think that China is in a weaker position they've been in some time, and it concerns me that this president won't go in playing what I think is a strong hand. I mean, China has to behave differently for us to reward them in any way. I've seen this administration reach out to Iran. I've seen them reach out to China. I want those to be postures of strength where those regimes have to change for us to have any concessions or working relationships.
A lot of CEOs in this country put the pressure on the president, too, Senator, maybe your fellow senators as well. CEOs like the head of Citi group saying, we do want to foster these good relations with China, good for business, good for America. Do you think we overplay that?
Well, I think what we've got to do is look at China differently. I mean, investments, I don't mind the idea of investments in China that are beneficial to the United States. I no longer want the pattern that we've seen over the last quarter century of investments in China that make us more dependent on them. And we're seeing that happen organically. We learned our lesson from COVID. But I do think that there's a market there. Think about the Chinese people have nearly twice our population size and what they consider to be the middle class. That will probably shrink a bit over time, but it's still a big market that I think that we want American and Western businesses to serve. One of my favorite pictures coming out of China, Neil, is a little Chinese girl wearing a Wonder Woman outfit with a Captain America shield. I want American culture, Western culture known in China because that's a path to freedom and ultimately change in China. What I don't want are strategic investments that make us dependent upon them for our pharmaceutical supply chains, the PPEs, all the things that we saw that we were dependent on in China over the time that we were dealing with the COVID pandemic. That has to change. We should have learned our lesson.